right in this room, these are shining examples. You are shining examples. And so I just want you to know that and realize that from me, a person standing up here as one of your spokespeople, as someone who's going to represent you to the fullest, I appreciate that. But I need you to keep working with us side by side, because we need to teach other kids exactly what you already know in the good principles and morals and values that you've learned through your parents and through your power organizations. That's the message that we have to spread. And it starts with this summit. And so I'm gonna dive into a first couple of questions for our panelists, so we can address the kids and get their feedback. So first off, make sure I have this right now. We have Tayron Pride.
Darren, yep, right here.
Darren.
Right here.
And we have Chief Devin Martin.
Thank you.
Honored to be here with you.
Thank you.
We have Sonny Macon.
Easy to pronounce?
Easy. That's the easy one, Mr. Macon. We have Chief Andrew Kudrick. I know you, so yeah. And Lieutenant Michael Schneider. I can't mess that one up either. So we have some great men.
So I think we have figured out the secret sauce of a great program, and our program directors over there, we were just talking about it today. Don't be boring. As long as we aren't boring, our message, our methodology, kind of everything that we think is important is getting through to the kids that we serve.
I remember when I was in college and I had this professor, you know, I felt that he was the worst person in the world because he would always grade my papers like extra hard. You know, I would do good and then he would mark it up and make it even worse. But I felt that we had a disconnect in communicating because I never understood what his expectation of me was, and he never understood what I was bringing to the table. It wasn't until after we sat down, dialogue, and we understood each other that I was able to pass that class. And the same thing we've seen in law enforcement, you know, throughout the nation, but particularly our community. The unique thing about my story is I actually grew up in Sea Pleasant. I'm a product of the community I used to live as a child. So I understand the problems directly, even as a chief now. So when I go back to the table and make decisions as an executive and have our department do them, it's not from the perspective of, oh, I'm the chief. I say do it from the perspective, this is what our community wants. I believe everybody in this room should determine the way they should be policed. Everybody in this room should determine the way they interact with their officers and their community. And once we get more back to the service mentality that law enforcement was designed to serve the community that they work for, I think we'll start to see those better results where we have better engagement. It's through platforms like this. Every officer that's in this room working with you is really an ambassador to the rest of the officers to build that gap in that relationship. And once we bring that back in, I think we'll start seeing that success that we're so used to seeing for so long.
I come at it from the standpoint of working in the mayor's office now. So as a lawyer, we do a lot of looking at in the city how that interaction with youth and police is working, where it can be improved. And when you're making policy, the most important thing is to hear from the people who are impacted by those practices, and that's you all. So everything you can do, from social media to bringing your friends together, reaching out to your local officers and having conversations, and then telling your friends about it, telling your community about it by way of posting it. I'm not big into social media. I barely know how to tweet. You all seem to have it down really well. I think there's Instagram, Snapchat. Do all of it. Talk about the conversations that you're having. Put out what you're saying are things that need to be in your community. Talk about what's working well, and let people know what's not. I mean, if you haven't, you should know who the elected people are in your community. Everything from your mayor to your city council. You should be thinking about writing letters, getting your peers to sign on, and getting other people in your community to sign on letters that you say, you know what, in my community, we need this to improve. This is working well, but we need this to change. And those are kind of things that really can make an impact and make a difference. And we're doing that right now in the city of New York, convening young people. But that doesn't have to come from a mayor's office. That's something you can start and invite your mayors, your city council members, and your other city electeds out to your meeting.
this is Mariah with the Dunn Pal at the National Summit. And I have me here today. What's your name, sir?
Bruce.
Bruce, it's nice to meet you. So I have a few questions for you. How do you think of the National Summit so far?
The summit is really nice because a lot of people are coming in, tell you how to stay off the streets, and do good, and stay in school.
That's good. And I have to ask you, what's a good lesson that you have learned so far from the people who have, spoken up and listened, talked to you?
I would say the officers because they're really young, and one of them said that he was bad in school. He wished he can go back and redo everything he could. And also one of them was a mother. She's real young and she has a job already.
What's your favorite part so far? I have to ask you that. What's your favorite part?
The social media.
Social media? Nice. Well, it was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming around. Hello, this is Mariah with Dunn Pal at the National Summit, and I got...
Cadet George Coleman IV.
It's nice to meet you. This is a nice outfit you got on. I really like it. So is this like the uniform you guys put on for the whole cadet thing?
Yes, each and every day we are required, Monday through Friday, we are required to wear our uniforms in chronological order, which means your belt has to be shined, your boots must be shined, uniform must be neatly pressed iron, and your pants must have a crease. You see the crease in my pants, so uniform has to be pinpoint sharp Monday through Friday.
That's good. What would be your favorite part about being a cadet?
My favorite part about being a cadet program is developing a family outside of your original family. Many people don't know this, but when you join the law enforcement, you are adopted into a bigger family. So it don't matter if you come in the program having problems at home, issues outside of work. When you come in, you always have a family to talk to. In my personal opinion, when you come in, try to get your feet wet a little bit. Don't be too shallow or straying away from people. If you feel like somebody that dislikes you or anything, just ask them. It's no problem with asking them because that person don't dislike you, but you just got that type of assumption. So my personal opinion, just come in, engage in conversation, get to know people, and just join the family.
Yeah, that's good. I think people should, learn how to get along and how to have a conversation, and definitely build a relationship with others. That's really good. If you would tell your future self one good advice for yourself, what will it be?
My future self is be the best officer I know I can be. Because many days you have a lot of dirty officers. As you can see now in the news, is we have officers just doing a little extra with suspects as far as detaining them. You have officers who tend to go above and beyond when they always be like, stop resisting. We have many people that don't resist. The officers just know they're in control, so they try to, cause extra damage. So me, I'm just going to be a clean officer my whole career. Make sure I have a clean resume, no write-ups, having to go see the chief, the captain, the sergeant. I want to make sure in my police career I can be the best officer that I can be.
That is good. Thank you so much for having this talk with me. I love to talk with you. I really did. I love this talk with you. This is like my favorite talk, honestly. I am Mariah. I'm with the Dunn Pal at the National Summit, and I'm here with, what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Caroline Jones, and I'm with the Department of Homeland Security.
Yes, ma'am. And may I ask you what your job is about?
Absolutely. I am a representative of Homeland Security. I work in the Office of the Chief Human Capital Officer, and I'm specifically aligned to the Strategic Recruitment, Diversity, and Inclusion Program Office. And our primary mission is to recruit and look to attract and recruit and aim to identify the next generation of highly skilled talent to come work for us at Homeland Security.
And with Homeland Security, what does that deeply mean to the job that you're doing?
The Department of Homeland Security is a very large federal agency. We are comprised of roughly 220,000 men and women that work hard every day to ensure that our homeland here within the United States remains secure. We work daily with men and women that aim to leverage their resources and leverage their talents and capabilities in ensuring that we safeguard our homeland in a variety of fronts. So we have several components, such as the United States Secret Service, the Office of Immigration Customs Enforcement, Customs Border Protection, the National Protections and Programs Directorate. We also have the Office of the Chief Information Officer, the United States Coast Guard, and several other components that work to ensure that we move forward in fulfilling our mission.
That's good. May I ask, what would you think is the best part about your job? What would you think is the best part?
That's an awesome question, and I can undeniably state that the best part of my job is to engage in opportunities like I'm participating in today. Having the chance to come out and meet with tomorrow's change agents and tomorrow's thought leaders here at the National Police Athletics and Activities League, that's what fuels me every day to do what I do.
And what would you give advice to many kids or many younger adults that want to participate in this job?
My advice to tomorrow's thought leaders and change agents would be to aim high, to make sure that you, as tomorrow's future, as you're embarking upon this thing called life, that you're making correct choices, that you are leveraging your skills, being the best that you can be, maintaining a sense of strong dignity as well as a sense of character to carry forth in achieving your goals, keeping your mission, maintaining focus, and also surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded whom can assist you in achieving those goals.
This is our Dunn Pal Youth Leadership and Youth One Mentoring Program. Dunn in our Youth Leadership Council, it's sort of our way of giving back to the community. Everyone's like, in the council meeting, we have a president, vice president, executive, a secretary, a treasurer, and a reporter. I'm the reporter of our Youth Leadership Council, and this is Jordan, and he's a full-fledged member of it.
Very good.
In our Youth One Mentoring Program, we like sort of doing technically what PAL does. We like to reach out to our youth and give them a better chance and find a place in the world.
Oh, very good.
So we have a few
Lifetime school program that we're running August the 12th. We're gonna have a whole bunch of booths and stuff out there. We're giving out school supplies for churches and kids that can't afford and stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's like a pay for everybody.
Yes, please.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for enlightening me about this information. I appreciate it.
We're just hoping that some of the pals can use some of the ideas.
Sure, sure, very good. This is great stuff. Keep it up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nicholas Williams from the National Teen Pal Summit in Maryland, and this is...
So I'm Daryl D'Souza. My rank is Deputy Commissioner, and I'm with the Baltimore City Police Department. I've been there 29 years.
So we'll be okay if I ask you a few questions, sir. So do you think that the children of your community and your police department are having a good bond or relationship with each other?
So I'm going to say yes. And everyone knows what happened in Baltimore. The summer of 2015, we had the Freddie Gray that passed away while he was in police custody. And for some reason, a lot of people across the country think there was never a relationship between the police and the community. That's not true. That's far from the truth. We've always had a solid relationship with our kids, with our young scholars in the community. The thing is that we've been doing it in different silos of the city. And I think the greatest thing that we need to do now and that we're doing is breaking those silos down and working as a whole unit, as a whole entire police department, and as a whole city, generally speaking. But we do wonderful things with them, great relationships. We need to do a better job of listening to them instead of just kind of like saying, this is the program that I want to do. So we want to hear your voice, and your voice matters.
I think the kids of your community would be thankful for that. So last question. How has working with the police department and the kids of the community impacted your life?
So I have kind of prided myself 29 years with the police department to be that type of police officer that gets out and engages, and especially young folks. So I have a young son and I have a young daughter, and they both, as young kids, were stopped by the police, and both times the experiences they have wasn't too great. I'm very fortunate that they made out from those situations. So I know what they've gone through. I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, and I had kind of similar experiences growing up, being stopped by the police. So I get it, and I understand that seems to be this wall, and no one wants to cross either side of the wall. Everyone's afraid to kind of like bond together. So I think it's critical for policing and youth just to come together as whole, find that bridge that's going to fill in that gap. And it starts with just a very simple thing. And the simple thing is having a conversation with somebody. Just walking up to somebody and not being afraid to say, hi, how are you? My name is. So we have to find time as police officers, because we do travel from call to call to call, helping people. But we need to find time to just to build a simple relationship and have a simple conversation and make friends, period.
Thank you, sir, for that, and thank you for your time.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Joke, okay? You ready? Here's the joke. What does a doe and an anteater have in common? No. They don't have antlers.
Oh no! Wow. Oh no! You did not get.